My powerlifting career has spanned 34 years, and I have focused on the deadlift because that's what I excel in. My deadlift is 100 pounds heavier than my squat, and that's not typical for a good powerlifter. A good powerlifter has a squat and a deadlift that are about the same weight. Now, I've won 8 world titles. 2 of those were in a full power meet, and the remaining 6 were just in deadlift competitions. I've been ranked in the top 20 masters in the 181 pound class by Powerlifting USA magazine in the deadlift. I've got 9 world records in the deadlift. So as you can imagine, I have developed strong beliefs in what I believe make you a good deadlifter, and I also have strong beliefs in what would make you a good sumo deadlifter versus a conventional deadlifter. So in my 34-year journey, I've always felt that there's got to be something that we still don't know about the deadlift. And science has recently done just that. It's brought up some issues that may make all these past beliefs totally obsolete. Now, some of the beliefs regarding whether or not you're built for a sumo or a conventional deadlift included long arms. We felt that if you had longer arms, you were better at the conventional deadlift. Better yet, if you had long arms and a short torso, you were better suited to the conventional deadlift because when you bent over, the weight would be closer to your body. You'd have a better leverage. You would be closer to the center of gravity as opposed to a long torso. If you had the long torso, you would want to lift in a sumo stance. We felt that a shorter person, they used to say 5'7" was the cutoff. People below 5'7" were sumo. People above that were conventional. They used to say that people with strong hips and big thick legs were sumo lifters. So there were many beliefs that we felt were carved in stone which would determine which one of these lifts was best for you. And I won't go into all of them because the list is very long and very involved, but I want to tell you what I've discovered science is now saying about what determines whether you are a conventional or sumo deadlifter. In 2017, science is telling us that hip structure is what determines whether or not you're going to be a conventional or a sumo deadlifter. Now, there are 5 variables to be considered. The first variable is the fact that pelvises come in all shapes and sizes. The second variable is that hip sockets can be located farther forward or farther backwards on a pelvis. The third variable is that hip sockets can be shallow or they can be deep. The fourth variable is that the angle at which the femur meets the pelvis can vary tremendously. The fifth and final variable is that the femur can vary from individual to individual in its rotation where it meets the pelvis. These 5 variables determine the range of motion for your hips and the amount of muscular tension you can develop in different hip positions. The logical question that one would ask then was, how would I know? How would I determine what I have is with regard to my hip structure? And the simplest answer is to get an x-ray. But you have to have the knowledge as how to look at that x-ray against these different hip positions. Now, most of us aren't going to go to the trouble to have an x-ray taken, and I don't know if your doctor would even agree to it when you told him why you wanted to have it done. However, the simplest thing to do is to simply experiment. Try the conventional deadlift, try the sumo deadlift, and give it some time, and you'll eventually be able to determine which one you're best at. In closing, there's a point I'd like to make, and that is, as we get older, we've got more and more experience, we tend to get set in our ways. We know certain things work, and we think, well, why change? However, as science develops and provides us with new and better information, we need to keep an open mind. That will allow us to have longevity in our sports, and it gives us credibility as trainers.